Woohoo!
Hello, everyone. Jak Syn here on behalf of Fiend.com and Future Daze, and today it is another exciting episode of Artist Interviews. Today, I am sitting with Megan McDuffie. How you doing today?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's a nice, beautiful day outside. I'm still healing from that foot injury, but hey, listen, I will be back to 100% very, very soon.
Yes, wishing you the speediest of recoveries.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So how's it going where you're at? Like, what's it like in your neck of the woods?
So I'm actually pretty new to the area. I've lived in California my entire life. And just back in October, about 6 months ago, we moved to Seattle, which was a huge change. So it's gray and it's drippy and it's kind of amazing. Every time it rains, which is like on a weekly basis, I'm like, what is this? What is this stuff? I don't understand.
It's like rainy and green and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And we're used to here in California, you know, like we're used to that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, looking at brown grass, right?
Yes. Brown, hot, just waiting for it to rain when it never does. Yeah, this is a complete 180, but we're loving it.
That's so good to hear. I'm glad. You know, I mean, Seattle is a pretty beautiful place. It really is. I don't know if I can take the amount of rain, like raining every day. I don't know if I can take that, but
I hear
you
you.
know, it is a nice place to visit for sure.
Yes. I'm looking forward to getting out and exploring more when stuff starts to reopen, and you know, it feels good to go back out there.
Right there, I know a lot of us out there cannot wait for that too.
Yeah.
Like we're chugging along one day at a time, guys, one day at a time.
Totally.
So today we're going to ask you a couple of questions and see where it goes from here. You ready to get into it?
Yep, let's do it.
What are 3 of your most memorable moments from your musical career?
It was super hard to narrow it down to just 3 since I had some pretty amazing moments over the course of a decade, which is how long I've been doing this professionally. I guess if I had to choose, I'd say one of the top ones for me, these will be in chronological order, actually. And that was getting the funding for the Streets music video, which I collaborated with Moonrunner 83. And you know, we put together a team, we got this kind of pitch video, and we weren't sure if we were going to get the grant for it because we were competing with hundreds of other artists, and they only gave out, I think, 40 grants that year, something like that. And we were one of the top finalists, and we actually got $10,000 from the Canadian government to produce this epic cyberpunk short film. And it's just that moment when I knew that we won one of the grants, I was like, oh my God, they're flying me up to Canada in the dead of winter. We're going to shoot this crazy freaking thing over a week. I'm not going to sleep. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, that was the highlight for sure. So I don't know how many people on here know my work, but one of the biggest things that I've worked on is River City Girls. And that was a video game that came out a couple years ago that I won a couple of awards for, which was awesome. But I had another sort of moment halfway through the development cycle where I was working on the score and just thinking like, wow, you know what? This could be big. This company has a serious track record. I feel super proud of the stuff I'm doing for it so far. Like this could be big. And then you know, come September 2019 when it released, there was an insane amount of buzz and hype and love for the soundtrack. So that sort of project as a whole is a seriously significant moment for me. And then moving right along to the third one, just recently I completed my debut full-length vocal album. And it feels super weird to say debut because, like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, but normally it's for other people. So the fact that I actually took the time and motivated myself and was like, I have to do this because I've been wanting to do it for a very, very long time. And that I actually completed it and it's done and it was sent to mastering and it's awesome. It feels so good to finally have that ready and coming out on May 21st.
That is awesome right there. Those are some awesome, memorable moments right there. Because going back to that first one for Streets, I gotta say that video is really damn impressive. It really is. It really is a short movie. It is. It's a cinematic experience. To anybody out there, if you haven't seen this video, go and check it out because it is full of all kinds of awesome stuff, twists and turns. You really get a sense of the plot. You know, the visuals are so beautiful. Everything is just very cohesive. And it's a really awesome thing for you guys to check out. And being able to score for that video game, River City Girls, that is awesome. Like being able to have that moment where you get to kind of go, I'm immortalized. My music is immortalized in a video game. How many people can actually say that? That hey, it's immortalized in that, you know? I was having a conversation the other day with Wolf Club, and I was talking to them. They were, you know, in this, they were scoring for this movie. And I go, you are immortalized in this movie. So when you're able to be immortalized in a piece of film, or like a video game, or some form of media, that I think is just so amazing.
It's a very cool feeling. Definitely.
And also, too, your new debut album that's going to be coming out very, very soon. We're going to be getting into more of that in a minute, I'm sure. But I got to say, I am super excited about that, and I cannot wait to hear it in its entirety.
Yay, I'm so excited too. I've been wanting to do this my whole life.
Well, now is the time. Everything happens for a reason, and this is the time.
Yep, this is the moment.
What would you say is your favorite musical release that you've worked on?
It's I've done so much, but it's kind of a tie, honestly, between the aforementioned River City Girls and the new album that I just completed. I think they both really harness my personal style. And River City was such a cool project in that they hired me specifically more for my sound, which, I mean, it was the dream project. It was like, we like the way you sound, so do that. Just do a bunch of it. So I had a lot of creative freedom that way. And then with this new album, there were absolutely zero constraints. So being able to kind of just let loose and do whatever I wanted was a really cool feeling as well. So I think just the freedoms for both of those, and the fact that I could put my musical personality into them 100% or close to 100%. was pretty amazing.
You're right. You're damn right. That is pretty amazing because, you know, your sound, it's got this dreamy, futuristic, you know, in a way kind of pop vibe to it, but also you're not afraid to trudge into the dark stuff. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty, you know what I mean, and scoop it out. I love that about your music and your sound and your voice. You have a really, really great voice, a really, really great tone to it that really kind of flows super well with what you create. You really are a super awesome singer-songwriter.
Thank you so much. I produce and mix all of my own work as well, which most people don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, it is awesome, and hats off to you for having your hand in all of that, because I know with some artists, you know, when they're mixing and mastering, sometimes it can get kind of become a tedious task, you know, when you're mixing and mastering your own stuff, because sometimes it can get away from you, you know, and some people, they need that extra ear. But when you're able to have that attention to detail, I mean, you know what you want in the end process, you know what you want, you know what you want to say to the world. So being able to do that is definitely awesome. Also too, your album artwork, that looked pretty awesome. I got to take a look at that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's for the single, the second single from the album. And whereas the first single, 13th Hour, was really dreamy and chill, this one is a lot more dark and gritty, but also very like pulsing and grinding. This one's actually kind of horror inspired because I'm a huge horror nerd. And originally I was going to have a super awesome, fully choreographed dance music video for it. But the video is turning out so good that I'm saving it for the full album release. So y'all still get a really cool lyric video for that.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome. Do you hear that, everybody out there? Everybody out there, you hear that? Get ready for that, because it's turning out so awesome. She's going to put it out with the album. See, holding it back. You know what I mean? It's going to be well worth the wait, guys.
Yeah, you bet.
What was the drive behind getting you into making music and performing?
So I get this question pretty frequently, and it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment or an exact inspiration that got me into this. Music's just always been something that I've that I've been, you know, drawn to. It's been in my blood since day one. You know, I was singing, albeit not well, as soon as I could walk, and performing in, you know, my elementary school talent shows, and you know, that led to private piano lessons and voice lessons, and eventually to music degrees. And it's just, I never saw myself doing anything else. So it's just one of those things that I feel like I was meant to do.
So it was something that radiated from the inside of you, like you knew it, like it was that calling, something that was pulling you
Yeah.
to that. You know, it's like that's that, I guess, that creative curse, you know what I mean? That thing that kind of holds on to you and kind of go, I have to get something out. And no matter if I've got to like write it down, got to draw it, got to make it into audio or something visual, you have to get that creativity out. But also too, on top of the music too, I mean, you're a singer-songwriter, you also are very talented with the visuals, and you know how to dance, and you know how to sing. I mean, you're like kind of like a full package, you know what I mean?
Thanks. Yeah, I try to do it all. Sometimes I wish I could delegate, but at the same time, it's really cool to have complete creative control over what I want to release.
Definitely, you know, you really do crank out some really amazing stuff. So that's really awesome to hear that that's what kind of pulled you to that. I can agree with that too. You know, at a younger age, it was like me, I was influenced like by my dad. My dad was a disco DJ. He loved doing that stuff. And as I progressed in my age, I was like, oh, I want to start doing like dark music and stuff like that. But it seems now that as I'm older, I kind of go back to those like earlier moments where I was kind of going like, I really love that, you know, those sounds that he would play in the morning. Like I would love waking up to like Earth, Wind and Fire and the Bee Gees and all that kind of stuff. Really kind of getting back to that funk aspect, that funk disco-y kind of stuff, that dance stuff, you know. So I think that when you have those influences and you kind of feel those things as you progress in life, you kind of go, this was like my calling. This is my creative calling.
Yeah, for sure. I love all sorts of music. So yeah, definitely disco and funk is the shit.
You're definitely right. Definitely right. What are you looking forward to accomplishing the most moving forward?
Well, first of all, I want to get this album release going and out and share it with the world. So that's coming. So I know I can count on that. And ideally, I would love to be able to split my time 50% doing video game scores and 50% doing my own recording artist releases. That would be a dream come true for me. So I'm looking forward to working towards that. And this album release is kind of, you know, a monumental first step.
That is pretty awesome, you know. And also too, it's like when that thing comes out, you know, because right now we are progressing towards getting back to shows again. We're progressing towards getting back to live performances again. I would absolutely love to see you perform live with this new album. I think that would be freaking awesome. You know what I mean?
That would be a blast. Eventually, I hope to do that.
Yeah, it definitely will. And you know, this new album of yours, from everything that I've kind of gotten a taste of, I know that this thing is really kind of blow the roof off the place, because it seems like it's got a flavor of all different kinds of stuff that you're ready to release. And that's what I think is pretty damn impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, I was definitely influenced by, you know, stuff that I've loved growing up, since I had no restrictions on this one. So it's definitely electro pop, but it's definitely also got a big trip hop influence. Massive Attack, Portishead, that kind of stuff definitely shines through.
Oh wow, that is pretty impressive. I like that. I like the sound of that. Everybody out there, take notes from this. You're gonna love that. And to be able to, you know, score for video games, split your time between scoring for video games and doing your own music, you know, you lending that voice and that sound to a video game really helps drive that narrative forward. And I think for a lot of younger people out there, even people who are huge fans of video games or people who are getting into video games for the first time, they're going to be able to hear your songs in that stuff.
Yes, and I've been at it for about a decade now, and it just keeps getting better.
What positive message would you give your fans out there?
That I love them endlessly, and they're the best things in the whole world to me. They make it all worth it. And I want to say to all producers out there to never give up. Persistence is the number one thing that you can do for yourself. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, you know, work towards your goals, keep at it. You will get somewhere that you want to get. And in general, just to the world, I want to say be kind to one another, be tolerant, And be compassionate.
Wise words right there, everybody. Wise words from Megan right here. You know, be compassionate. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep pushing. Always keep working at it, because if you do, it'll take you some amazing places. I know I say this a lot in these interviews, but it really is true. There's this little saying where it's like, it's only 3 more feet to your goal. It's like, just when you think you're ready to give up, just go 3 more feet and you're going to reach it. You really will.
Yeah.
Just don't ever give up on those dreams. Don't give up on that creativity, because when you do, it really will take you to some amazing places. Be kind, be loving, and help lift each other up, because when you do, great things will happen.
Yes. 100% agree.
So to everybody out there, thank you for tuning in to watch this interview. Thank you to Megan for taking the time to sit down and have this conversation. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our Fiend YouTube channel, as we have many more awesome artist interviews on the way, just like this one with Megan McDuffie. Thank you so much, Megan.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
And everybody out there, if you haven't checked out Megan's work, go and check it out. She makes some really amazing stuff, whether it's scoring for video games or making her own music, putting that out. It is really good stuff with a lot of amazing influences that you out there will definitely love. Take it from me to you guys. Killer stuff.